Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Take your seat.
Thank you.
Are you settled down? Free? Comfortable?
Yes.
We are 4 people. We are watching you. Okay, this is your mock interview.
Yes.
Relax kare. Okay, please introduce yourself to all of us.
My name is Arfah Hussain and I belong to Rawalpindi. I born in Islamabad and got my early education from the public schools of Islamabad. Then I got my college education from Rawalpindi, Css Science College for Girls. Then I moved for higher education and I done my masters in mathematics from International Islamic University, Islamabad. And then my professional career began as a secondary school teacher of mathematics in the Educators Humma campus. And later on, I got married in April 2019, and I aspired for being a civil servant while doing a job, and I got an opportunity after marriage that I can compete in the civil service exams, and I appeared in CSS 2020. But unfortunately could not get allocation, and this time again appeared in 2021. I think when something are done by negotiation and do negotiations, then come for the further procedure.
You have been teacher?
No, not. I worked for 4.5 years from 2014 to 2019.
As a teacher?
Yes, as a teacher.
That is a good thing.
Yes.
MashaAllah, you have been teacher. You have been teaching the almost some
4
generation.
years. Yes.
Can you tell me what are the good qualities of a teacher?
Well, a teacher should have a knowledge to teach and skillful and know how to deliver the knowledge to the students well in manner, and have a capability to evaluate the students, not only focus them for rote learning, and develop the critical thinking in the students.
What is the best method of teaching?
Best method of teaching is activity-based learning and demonstration, and not only from the book. You must have to give them examples of real life and practical-based education.
When you got married?
I got married in April 2019.
And then you have taken this exam again.
Yes.
This is the second time you have
Yes,
taken.
second attempt.
What is your motivation for the civil service exam?
Being a teacher, and I work as a teacher and a different position in the administration, and I think I should work for a broader level. Beside my professional life, I was also giving free of cost education to the slum children of my area in the evening, and this motivated me to work on the broader level, being a civil servant of Pakistan.
You were giving this free of cost teaching.
Yes.
How? This was there any NGO?
No. Personally, I was doing this on my own.
You were
Yes,
where you have been doing it?
I am doing in Model Town Humma, where I was living before marriage.
Okay, there you used to teach in the evening.
Yes, in the evening. Some slum children who cannot afford their education, I teach them free of cost and enrolled some students in the schools on my own expenses. Then later on,
how many students you have been teaching?
I think I have been teaching since 2011 till 2019, more than 500 students.
Arfah, you are part of the society where currently everybody is facing the crunch of inflation.
Yes.
Higher price. What do you think? And the finance minister yesterday, he was saying that we should be prepared for another hike. What do you think?
Well, I think government should take aggressive policies regarding the inflation to control the imports of luxury items, so that we can save the more money for the development of the country to boost our economy. Already facing economic and current deficits, trade deficits, but I think that if government takes some aggressive steps for 2 to 3 years to stop the luxury import of the luxury item, we can save, I think, more than $10 billion per year. In this way, we
But
can.
you see, but you know that we are part of the global world, and there are certain protocols and treaties which we cannot ignore. We cannot tell the world not to send their product here. Now you tell me. Yesterday the Prime Minister had a meeting, and he was talking about to expedite the privatization process. What is this privatization?
Privatization
How it will help
process.
the government?
10 state enterprises were the main object to privatize them, like Zarai Tarakkiyati Bank and Sui Northern Gas Limited. And the process of privatization is to generate more revenue from the state-owned enterprises. And the 10 state-owned enterprises is on the list, and further they will privatize the 24 more enterprises. There are some pros and cons of privatization, and privatization will generate more revenue for the government, but they have their own private owners who have their own benefits, and the workers in the private enterprises may have no security of their tenure, because in private sectors your jobs.
No, just asking you something about Afghanistan.
Yes.
Say the Afghanistan government, they hire you as their advisor. Now you know what is the scenario and what you will advise them to the leadership of Afghanistan, what they should do.
They should go for the inclusive government, so that the international community recognize them. And because Afghanistan is going through the worst economic humanitarian crisis, and yesterday I was reading in the newspaper that 90% people are not able to afford the basic commodities, and because the world is not recognizing the new Taliban government, and world is reluctant to provide them more aid in this way, so the Taliban should make the inclusive government, so that the world recognize them and provide them humanitarian assistance in this way.
Don't you think that they have conquered their city and they have defeated the mighty Americans? Why should they listen to them? Why should they listen to their enemies? They have got territory, they have got people, they have got land, they have got river, they have got everything.
Yes, they have land, but to survive in this globalized world, we have to be the part of the world and have a trade and relations with the other countries.
चंगेज खान किसी के सुनता था? हिटलर ने किसी के सुनी थी? ठीक है ना? Anyway, you're right. They should go for inclusive government. This is the recipe which everybody is advising, and nobody is very. What is this inclusive government in your view?
Inclusive government means that all the factions or sections in the Afghanistan, like Tajik, Uzbek, and Pakhtun, they should include them in the government. Also include the women in the government, so that the disaster or crisis may come down.
You see, in Pakistan there is a lot of polarization.
Yes.
And somebody can advise us, Mr. Prime Minister, have an inclusive government. Will he go for inclusive government?
We have government which is.
But there is a very strong opposition sitting on the fringes, and they want their share in the cake. They want their share in the cake. Will the people who are in control of the situation, they will allow them to be part of their government?
This current government be the part of the current government?
No, I am just giving you this is just a counter remark I am giving you.
Yes.
Because everybody is asking them to form an inclusive government.
Yes.
I am asking you that here in Pakistan, here is a man who has got control of the government as Prime Minister.
Yes.
Or a very thin majority, about 5-7 people with majority.
Yes.
This recipe, will he accept? Because he can have an inclusive government and you should have everybody on board.
Yes. He should accept.
I mean, you need to think about it.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Over to you.
How will you analyze the performance of the present government?
Well, present government before election gave a manifesto and promised the nation for many like economic fronts, social fronts, educational fronts. But they have performed in some areas, and in some areas they are lacking, and they have not fulfilled their promise up to the mark as they set the benchmark for their in election manifesto. Like in last year, they claimed that they have the current account is in surplus, but now in this year we are seeing that there is the economic downturn again, and they promise to mobilize or to introduce the single national curriculum like in education front, and it is on the way, and like other policies they have, but they have not fulfilled up to the mark as they have set in the.
How do you view this policy of the single national curriculum?
Well, single national curriculum is a positive step, but beside this single national curriculum, the government should also consider the infrastructure development and include all the authorities or the people in the education sector, so that the people who are against this, that they are saying that only religion-based education is included in this single national curriculum, and they should look after on this.
How do you differentiate between fiscal deficit and current deficit?
Fiscal deficit is regarding the budget, expenditure, and the revenue and the expenditures, and the current account deficit is the remittances and export, the deficit in the remittances and exports.
Has the 18th Amendment strengthened the relations between the Federation and the provinces?
As far as when the 18th Amendment was passed, it seemed that the relation between the province and center is strengthened, but later on we have seen for last 2 years that the center is saying that more share in the finance is given to the provinces, and so there is a tussle in between the province and the center, because center has to pay the debts and the defense, so the center is saying that more finance share is given to the provinces. And also during the pandemic, we have seen that the health sector was devolved in the 18th Amendment, and it was given to the provinces, but we have seen in the pandemic that Sindh has already imposed the lockdown, where center was late in imposing the lockdown, so there was some discussion on 18th Amendment regarding this health and finances. Rainfalls, the pattern of rainfall, food insecurity is being, and migrations and storms and dryness everywhere. So food insecurity is prevailing, and people are migrating from one place to other place and causing the security challenges for the other countries.
You play badminton?
Yes, in my school time and in college time I used to play badminton.
What is the length and breadth of the badminton court?
I think 17 feet. Sorry, I'm not able to recall right now.
Public administration is your optional subject.
Yes.
So, how many schools of thought are there in the field of public administration?
There are several schools of thought, like human relational school, classical school of thought, scientific management, and behavioral school of thought.
What was the difference between the scientific management, philosophy, and the human relations?
In human relation approach, that the scholars of that time emphasized on the emotions and the way of doing their work, and they more focused on the emotions of the labor, as if you give them incentives and praise them, and they will produce more. But the scientific management theory focused more on the materialism, like if you provide them tools and better environment and use the scientific models, they will produce more according to their environment.
How will you define organization?
Organization is like a setup which to the. So I'm not able to define this right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Arfah, you have studied theory of relativity. Can you tell us about the limitations of the theory?
Yes, in theory of relativity, because Einstein proposed in 1905, and he said when the body moves without change, acceleration, means when a body takes a turn, automatically it will have acceleration, but theory of relativity deals with the movement of the body without acceleration. So it has limited with the general theory of relativity and special theory of relativity.
Nargis Malwala is one of your favorite personalities. Does it mean that you're also interested in the astroscience?
Astroscience, yes.
Where is he from?
He is from Argentina.
They say that Messi scores better when he plays with Barcelona than he scores when he is fighting for his own country. Is that true?
No, I don't think so. It's true. It's a game when you play and you score. I don't know about this.
So you should know, because World Cup, you know how he performs there
Yes.
when he's playing for Argentina,
Yes.
and how he scores when he's playing for Barcelona.
Okay, thank you.
Right? What is FATF?
FATS Financial Action Task Force Paris-based watchdog, which see the money laundering and terror financing in the countries, and it was established in 1989, and Pakistan is currently on the grey list of the FATF because of the have to fulfill the requirements which were given by the FATF and Asia Pacific group. And Pakistan has already fulfilled 26 out of 27 recommendations, but they said they have to more do this on money laundering and terror financing.
So tell me, if it is a watchdog only, why are we so worried about being in the grey list? What does it matter? Why does it matter? Why does FATF matter?
Because when we are in FATF, so countries are reluctant to invest in the country, and they think that we are sponsoring the terror and money laundering is being done in the country, so they are not doing the direct investment in the country. So that is the main reason of being in the grey list, negative points for the country to be in the grey list.
Thank you so much, Arfah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, tell us some very important features of US Constitution.
It's a very rigid constitution, cannot be easily amended, and as we have seen since its inception, only 27 amendments still passed, and it is a very rigid constitution and cannot easily be amended.
Okay, Hobbes, Rousseau and Montesquieu,
Yes.
they contributed a lot towards the making of US Constitution.
Yes.
How?
They focused more on the equality and nationalism, or like economic equality, or
How?
because Thomas Jefferson was inspired from the Montesquieu and Rousseau, because they have given the system of government in their literatures and in their writings, like government and executive and judiciary should be separated, and that was the main point in the constitution.
Okay, what was Monroe Doctrine?
Monroe Doctrine was presented by the President James Monroe in 1823, and it was that no European countries in the Americas, like in North America, in Latin America, and they are not allowed to intervene in the or they are not allowed to interfere in the internal matter of the American, and they are not allowed to colonize it again in the American continent.
Okay, can you specify who was responsible for the Great Depression in American history?
Who was responsible?
Yeah, whether it's government, it's unchecked capitalism, or any sort of economic recession, or which one, or who was the responsible for the Great Depression?
Well, I think the capitalist system was responsible for because the market competition At that time,
Okay,
to recall.
हम पाकिस्तान स्टडी से कुछ पूछ लेते हैं. Delhi Muslim proposal. When would say Delhi Muslim proposal, what comes in your mind?
Delhi Muslim proposal, in my mind, that participation of Muslim and Indians in the legislation, and they want the separate electorates, and they want their share in the government services and the electoral process.
Okay, do you have any idea about Sharif report and Pirpur report?
No, sir, I have no idea.
Okay, thank you.
अपना ऑनलाइन स्टोर बनाएं बस चंद क्लिक्स में. वेबएक्स पर फ्री साइन अप करें. अपनी पसंदीदा थीम का
That's fine. Everybody feels in the same way. When he comes out of the examination,
Yes.
written or oral, he has got the same feeling that I had this, I could not. Mashallah, Arfah, it is a pleasure meeting you, Afra.
Thank you very much.
You are intelligent and you have proved yourself
Thank
as
you,
a very
sir.
hard-working and ambitious person.
Yes, sir.
Your communication skills are very good. You
Thank
can
you very
communicate. You are confident. ठीक है. Your knowledge base is better.
Thank you, sir.
कोई इतना खराब भी नहीं है.
Yes,
But still,
Yes.
you need. कब है इंटरव्यू आपका?
2nd November.
अच्छा अभी है. तो बस ये है कि एक तो जो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन है ना,
Yes, sir.
तुम्हारा बड़ा पावरफुल इंट्रोडक्शन होना चाहिए. Because you have got the strength. ठीक है ना. You are a rock. पता है तुम्हें?
Thank you, sir.
आज जाके अपना एक इंट्रोडक्शन 1 पेजर लिखो लैपटॉप पे बैठ के. ठीक है. सीवी जो होता है ना, उसके जो मेन पॉइंट्स है उनको इन व्यू रख के राइट. और जब यू हैव डन योर मास्टर डिग्री इन 2014
14.
तो 6 साल को भी आपने एक्सप्लेन करना है.
Okay.
ठीक है. नंबर 1. नंबर 2 ये है कि 1 पेजर जब बनाओ तो उसको जब डिलीवर करो ना, जब आप आई ना, जब आपने डिलीवर किया तो उस वक्त लगा इट इज आर्टिफिशियल है.
Okay.
या होना आर्टिफिशियल है, ये नहीं है कि नहीं होना. तैयारी आपने करनी है बट लेकिन डिलीवरी शुड बी नेचुरल. उसमें आपने थोड़े से पॉजेस देने हैं.
ठीक है.
ठीक है. एक तो ये, और उसके लिए यू विल डू सम मिरर प्रैक्टिस. 4-5 दिन जो है ना,
Yes.
मिरर प्रैक्टिस करो. 1 पेजर लिखो, 1 मिनट का इंट्रोडक्शन अपना लिखो. यू हैव टू गिव ए सॉर्ट ऑफ यू आर टेलिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ. एंड डोंट फॉरगेट, आपने ये जो है ना, ये जो आपकी जो है ना टीचिंग स्लम्स चिल्ड्रन,
Yes, sir.
ये उसमें मेंशन करना है.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना. और यू हैव बीन अ टीचर सिंस 2014 आफ्टर योर MSc.
Yes.
And then you got married.
Yes.
ठीक है ना. you are motivated. मोटिवेशन पे कुछ ना कुछ. इंस्पिरेशन क्या है सिविल सर्विस में आने की? you need to develop some thought. और ये आपने जो NGO या this community service which you have been doing, this is a very strong point. तो इसको जो है ना आपने इसको प्रेजेंट करना है.
Yes, sir.
इन सच ए वे के जो आप की पर्सनैलिटी जो है ना, इट शुड बी विजिबल.
Okay.
वो हमें टाइम लगा है आपको ढूंढते ढूंढते. वहां जो होगा ना, इफ यू विल मेक ए पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट,
Yes, sir.
देन आई थिंक यू विल बी एबल टू कैच द अटेंशन जो आपके पॉइंट्स हैं.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. तो आई थिंक यू आर गुड, वेरी गुड रादर आई विल से, एंड यू हैव गॉट द पोटेंशियल टू मेक इट.
Thank you, sir.
जरा आपने जैसे इन्होंने कहा कि शीशी के सामने ना आप जो है वो करें, अपनी इम्प्रूव करें, अपना प्रोनाउंसिएशन जरा इम्प्रूव करें.
Okay, sir.
कई कुछ वर्ड्स जो है वो आप सही प्रोनाउंस नहीं कर रही. उसको जरा अपना जो है ना प्रोनाउंसिएशन, इसको जरा वो करें, इम्प्रूव करें इसको. तो आप इम्प्रूव करेंगे तो इट विल क्रिएट गुड इम्प्रेशन एंड यू विल बी एबल टू फेच मोर मार्क्स.
Thank you, sir.
ठीक है. बाकी जैसे इन्होंने कहा, आपने बड़े अच्छे सवालों में जवाब दिए. थोड़ी सी और मेहनत करोगे और नंबर मिलेंगे आप.
Thank you, sir.
Afra, you have a very nice personality, Vita. You're very properly dressed. On interview day, I would recommend wear white, grey or black. वो ज़्यादा अच्छा.
Yes, ma'am. On interview day, I will wear blue.
नेवी ब्लू या
Navy
रॉयल
blue.
ब्लू,
Yes, royal blue.
whatever. और जो आपका नॉलेज गैप जो आप खुद फील कर रहे हैं, आई वुड रिकमेंड वर्क हार्ड ऑन इट.
Yes.
You have a great potential. We are confident you'll do very well. Thank you.
अच्छा, आप यू आर हार्ड वर्किंग, आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल बहुत अच्छी है. एक चीज अभी दुरानी साहब ने मैं आपको बताया, अपने जो स्ट्रॉन्ग एरियाज हैं वो चीजें जो है वो मेंशन करें.
Okay.
और मैंने आपसे क्वेश्चन किया था कि व्हाट इज योर स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया इन यूएस हिस्ट्री, जो आपको कंफर्ट फील होता है उससे बताएं आप.
Okay.
अदरवाइज आप जो है वो छोड़ देते, अपने इंटरव्यूअर्स को छोड़ देते हैं कि वो आपसे जो मर्जी पूछें. ठीक है, नॉलेज गैप है, इट्स नॉट अ बिग इशू, इट्स अ माइनर पार्ट. लेकिन अगर अभी आपके पास टाइम है तो इन इश्यूज में देखें, जैसा कि आपके पास IR है, अगर उससे मुश्किल क्वेश्चन किए जाते हैं, या कम से कम अपना एक एरिया डिफाइन कर लें कि जी मुझे थ्योरीज ऑफ IR ज्यादा अच्छी स्ट्रॉन्ग आती हैं, या इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस में वॉर से रिलेटेड है, या डिप्लोमेसी है, यूरोपियन डिप्लोमेसी जो है. किसी एरिया को स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया जो है ना वो उस पर ज्यादा फोकस करें, ताकि आप क्वेश्चंस उस एरिया से आपसे क्वेश्चन दिए जाए.
Okay.
देखो ना, आपका जो इंट्रोडक्शन है ना,
Yes.
योर टीचिंग इज अ स्ट्रांग पॉइंट,
Yes.
योर मैरिज इज अ स्ट्रांग पॉइंट,
Yes.
योर कम्युनिटी सर्विस इज अ स्ट्रांग पॉइंट.
Well.
इन तीनों को आप हाईलाइट करेंगे.
Okay.
और ये छोटी छोटी जो चीजें हमने ऑब्जर्व की है ना वो आपको बता दी है.
Well.
तो
Thank you.
इस पे थोड़ा सा तवज्जो दें अपने इंट्रोडक्शन पे. ठीक है,
Yes.
बेस्ट ऑफ लक. थैंक